One of my daughters absolutely loves cupcakes. And so as we went into our grain-free journey, she was very worried that she would never be able to have a cupcake again. So I knew I had to try and figure out how to make a grain-free cupcake. If you've ever had grain-free baked goods, you know that sometimes they can taste a little heavy or a little grainy. And I really wanted to learn how to make a cupcake that still had the texture of the cupcakes that she was used to. My first try, I will admit, was not good. But thankfully, on the second try, I came up with this cupcake, pumpkin spice cupcakes with a maple Swiss meringue buttercream, and they were an absolute hit. They taste amazing. The texture is what you would expect from a cupcake with grain in it, and my daughter was one happy camper. Here's how you make them. To make the cupcakes, you need 6 eggs, 1 cup of honey or maple syrup, half a cup of avocado oil or the oil of your choice, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, 1.5 cups of coconut flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Place your eggs, honey, avocado oil, and vanilla into a mixer bowl and beat it together until it's well combined, about 30 seconds or so. Then add in your coconut flour, baking soda, all your spices, and the salt, and blend until it's well combined, scraping down the sides just to make sure you've got everything mixed in. Then gently blend in your pumpkin puree. Now your cupcake batter is ready to go. Simply fill your muffin cups about half full of batter and place them in your 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. When you pull them out and insert a toothpick in the center and it comes out clean, they're ready to go. Once you can handle them safely, pull them out of the muffin pan and place them on a cooling rack to cool completely. After you put your cupcakes aside to cool is a good time to get out the butter for your frosting. The butter needs to soften a little bit, but you still want it to be a little bit cold, so you want to make sure not to get it out too early. For the frosting, you need 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, 4 egg whites, 2 sticks of butter, a pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Once you're ready to whip up your frosting, you start by heating your egg whites. So you just take a saucepan that your mixer bowl can fit nicely into without touching the bottom, and add about 1 inch of water into it. Place your mixer bowl inside, creating a bit of a double boiler, and place it over about medium-high heat. You want it to be hot enough to heat your egg whites to the temperature you want them, but not to actually cook them. Place your egg whites and your maple syrup into the mixer bowl and continue to whisk them until it reaches 150 degrees on a candy thermometer. Remove the bowl from the pan and dry it off, and place it onto your mixer with a whisk and start whisking. This is the part that takes a little bit of time. You want to whisk your egg white mixture on high until stiff, shiny peaks form and the bowl is room temperature to the touch. You don't want it to be too hot or it'll melt your butter. Once your egg whites reach the consistency that you want them to be, switch out your whisk for a creamer attachment and start adding your butter. Simply drop it in about a tablespoon at a time, allowing it to continue to whisk until it whips into a thick, creamy frosting consistency. If it doesn't want to do this, don't be discouraged. This frosting can be a little bit touchy. It usually just means that either your bowl was still too hot or the butter got a little too warm. Simply place your bowl in the fridge for about 15 minutes, get it out, and try to whip it again. If it still doesn't work, just try it one more time. This has happened to me multiple times, and this always seems to fix it. Once it reaches the consistency that you want it to be, add in your pinch of salt and a teaspoon of vanilla and mix it well. Now you're ready to frost your cupcakes. Simply add them into a frosting bag and pipe away. You may notice that mine look a little bit sloppy. I totally forgot to get a frosting bag at the store, and when I tried to use a Ziploc like I've done before, I found out they've changed the design of Ziplocs and they just don't work the same. So thankfully, no matter how they end up looking, these still taste amazing. This recipe makes about 2 dozen cupcakes to enjoy. The flavor and consistency of these cupcakes was just amazing, and every single one of us was happy, especially my daughter. She could not have been more thrilled to have real cupcakes even while we were going grain-free. I hope you and your family enjoy these too, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of our videos. Thanks again for watching.